Yes guys, how's it going? Welcome back to a new video. It is January transfer deadline day and Newcastle have finally done some business. That's right, Alfie Harrison, the youngster that we talked a little bit about a couple of weeks ago and a little bit yesterday as well, has officially now signed for Newcastle United as announced on the website, on Twitter. And look, it is exciting. He's a young, gifted, talented player that, as I've said before, you know, if you're good enough, you're old enough. And who knows, maybe we could see this lad join up with the first team sooner rather than later. Hopefully. You know, I was joking on saying hopefully he's in the squad for Luton on Saturday because we need him. And that's it, isn't it? It is exciting, and we'll talk a little bit about Alfie in a moment and what hopefully he can bring to the squad very soon. But you've got to also address a bit of the elephant in the room, which is that we haven't done a lot, have we? And I think it is to disappointment of many. I will say that it's the same across the whole Premier League. I mentioned this yesterday or the day before. Last January was 250 million spent. This January, it's like 30 million. Clubs have had to be careful. Everyone's being careful, and Newcastle are a part of that. And there's been last minute links to Lascelles heading off to Besiktas, and who knows? Maybe this isn't the last time you'll hear from me today. Maybe we will have a shock move late in the window. You know, Sky Sports themselves were reporting this morning that they believe Newcastle was still in to try and make something happen. But, you know, talking to you guys now, you know, late afternoon, early evening, 11 p.m.'s the cut-off. I think we'll have a real good job of getting... You know, as it's being said, we have to let someone go or bring somebody in. To let somebody go and bring somebody in, you know, with a few hours would be some task. And that's the thing. Lascelles might be linked to Besiktas, but unless they're offering, you know, and the thing is, you know, his contract does end in the summer, so maybe Newcastle could be tempted by any fee for Lascelles if they're not envisaging him, you know, being at the club past the end of this window. But from what I understand, Eddie Howe has no intention of letting the player go. It would really be if Lascelles wanted the move, the club would probably allow it to get some money back before you could potentially leave for nothing in the summer. But if I had to really go ahead and predict the future, which obviously I can't, would be that Newcastle would probably offer Lascelles another year, to be honest. And I think the likes of Richie, Dummett and a few others will probably walk. I don't imagine Lascelles is probably one that is at the front of the queue to let go, especially after having a pretty decent season. We've obviously seen the Almiron stuff with him staying at the club, and it's kind of left us in a place where, you know, what happens next? What we do have coming in is the seller deal, the Adidas stuff coming out starting next season. Hoping, you know, in the summer we can, you know, spread our wings a little bit. But for right here, right now, it wasn't to be done. But as I say, we had a great few games. We had a great game against Fulham. We had a great game against Aston Villa. And I think it's brought a bit of a buzz back to everyone. I feel like there has been a bit of a, you know, I think other than the Sunderland game, I think we'd lost 8 away games of 8 out of 9 away games, and hadn't been quite on it. You know, the loss at home against Nottingham Forest was tough. We lost against Luton as well. Funnily enough, it's Luton, Nottingham Forest and Bournemouth, our next 3 games. You know, a score to settle with the 3 of them. There's talk on Barnes getting closer to coming back, and, you know, Willock's constantly posting a new picture of himself in the gym. There's nothing to say that we can't go and have a cracking end of second half of the season. I just think that had we been able to, you know, get a couple of players in this January, it would have just really given that bit of a lift. Eddie Howe himself says he always tries to like to bring at least one player in. In fairness, you could even look at it and go, last January window, you know, we didn't get a lot. We struggled last January as well. You know, yes, we did get Gordon over the line, but to be honest, we barely played that season. It was really the start of this season where Gordon actually hit the mark and started to get a lot more game time. So you could really say that even last January window, we didn't do loads. We brought Matty Target in on permanent. Yeah, I'm trying to think now. Can't believe it was a year ago, believe it or not. Yeah, since Gordon came in, I mean, it has flown by. But anyway, we didn't do loads then, and we still did all right. So having said that, and to be fair, the depth wasn't that great then either, although the injuries this time are hurting us. But I still think we've got it in us. Still think we have it in us to finish strong this season. But yeah, the elephant in the room is that we didn't bring any recognised first-team players in. We were unable to let players go. And we will have to wait and see what we can manoeuvre this summer window. Because yes, I think sponsors and commercial deals will certainly add for something going into the summer. But I'm not so sure that it'll be another war chest. Who knows? Maybe by the summer, the young Alfie Harrison will be ready to start kicking into gear. Says that he's joined Newcastle until the summer of 2026 on an undisclosed fee from Manchester City. So it is a signing. We have paid for him. How much that is, I don't imagine. I think his contract was coming to a close. So really, I think Man City are taking a little bit of money. It's an 18. Although having said that, we did pay $7 million for good old Minty over at Feyenoord. So we are prepared to spend on the youngsters. 18-year-old has built a reputation as a technically gifted player from Man City. And we'll be linking up. We'll be linking up with the Newcastle's professional development phase. So they are, yeah. In fairness, I would actually go as far as say it's slightly harsh on the kid. Obviously, he wants to be announced and everyone will be excited for him. But to be like announcing it on deadline day as like a deadline day signing where everyone's looking for like the first team signings to be coming through and. I hope it's taken by everyone as that is what it is. It is a youngster to be coming in as to join the reserves and to join the development side. Steve Harper goes on to talk a little bit about it, saying that they want to try and, as Alfie's signing as part of a strategic move to make our PDP group younger, particularly the under-21s. So I think that's another thing is that Newcastle have got, I think, potentially holding on to players a little bit, holding on to players who maybe aren't going to make it at Newcastle, maybe aren't going to make it at the next level, but we still need to have a team, and that's possibly something that's wrong with football generally, actually, is that you might have 2 or 3 superstars, but if they don't have 9 other lads to play with or other people to play with, but what happens to them at the end of it? And I think they are trying to build that up in the Newcastle. They are trying to really build up a bigger squad of top talented players. And it sounds like Alfie's going to go fit in over there. So that's the thing. It doesn't sound like he will be on the bench for the Luton game. Who knows though? It is. We've seen Joe White on the bench. We've seen Miley smashing it. I really do think that Eddie Howe is wanting to give the youngsters a chance, and that's why Alfie Harrison has wanted to join Newcastle. He could have stuck it out in Man City. Man City fans are asking why they let him go. Well, the answer is because there is no clear and obvious pathway or progression into the first team. I mean, for good or bad reasons, there is definitely one at Newcastle right now. So, yeah, wish the lad all the best. Fingers crossed he can come through and we can see a little bit more of him very soon. But in terms of Newcastle's general transfer window, it has been a bit disappointing. It has. And as I say, it's not to say that we can't still go smash at the second half of this season, but I think possibly the wins against Fulham and Villa have come at a very good time, because had we lost those games and we've got no one this window, I think it would have been quite a slightly more moody response to what's going on, because we've just won 2 big games. We're going beat Luton at the weekend, and all of a sudden you're going, yeah, we didn't have a good January, but we've still got a good side, and if we get a few of these guys back from injury. And that's what I think what we've got to hope for. Let me know your thoughts down below on the new sign of Alfie Harrison. Let me know your thoughts on the deadline day kind of nothingness. Sky Sports trying to push that Newcastle were going to do something this morning, and really it just hasn't pulled off, has it? Or nothing's come off. I think I don't disagree. I think we probably were in for a loan move. I think we probably will be up till 11 o'clock tonight. But Eddie Howe's got his list, hasn't he? Remember that? Eddie Howe's list. If you're not on the list, we're not going to bother. And I think that's possibly that list has ran out at this point. Let me know your thoughts on Alfie Harrison and the situation of the transfers down below. Thank you for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. As I mentioned, I will be at the Luton game this weekend. Hopefully it will be 3 wins in 3 for the tune. Can't remember who we played before Fulham. Dear God. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.